God's chosen ones, you passed. It's time to tell you everything. Something sacred is unfolding right now, and your heart was gently guided here because heaven never allows a faithful soul to miss the moment when truth begins to rise like morning light after a long night of waiting. This moment carries a quiet urgency because many hearts have walked through seasons of confusion, silent battles, and hidden tears without realizing that every step was seen by the loving eyes of God and the compassionate heart of Lord Jesus Christ. If your spirit feels a sudden warmth while hearing these words, allow that feeling to remain close, because it is the gentle whisper of heaven confirming that what you endured was never meaningless or forgotten. Before the story continues and the deeper truth begins to unfold, write Amen in the comments if your heart truly believes that God has been walking beside you through every unseen trial and every silent victory. There were days when the road seemed lonely and uncertain, yet heaven quietly watched every choice you made when nobody else noticed the strength growing inside your soul. You carried faith during moments when giving up would have been easier, and you continued showing kindness even when your own heart needed comfort more than anyone around you understood. The love of Jesus quietly surrounded you during those moments, not with loud signs or dramatic displays, but with quiet protection that guided your steps away from dangers you never even knew were near. Type 2323 in the comments if you feel deep inside that God has been preparing something greater for your life, even when the path seemed unclear and heavy. Many people imagine that God's chosen ones always walk through bright and peaceful seasons, yet the truth is far more beautiful and far more powerful than that simple picture. The souls closest to God often walk through the deepest valleys first, because those valleys slowly shape a heart that becomes strong enough to carry blessings that would overwhelm an unprepared spirit. Your patience during difficult seasons became a silent testimony before heaven, and your quiet faith became a light that even angels recognized with deep joy. Nothing about your journey was accidental, because every hardship was quietly building the moment when the truth would finally be revealed with gentle clarity. If this story touches your heart and helps you feel the warmth of A7, second brainwave practice, once reserved for select circles and concealed in classified files, has now been made public, and many describe it as the 3-0 second miracle. Experts say it awakens a dormant brain center connected to wealth and blessings. Click the link in the comments below before it is taken down from the internet again. God's presence surrounding your life. Take a moment to like the video so that this message of hope and faith can reach more people who are quietly waiting for encouragement during their own hidden battles. The reason this moment matters so deeply is because many chosen souls spent years wondering why their lives followed a different rhythm than the people around them. While others seemed to move quickly from success to celebration, you often walked through seasons of reflection, patience, and quiet spiritual growth that felt invisible to the world around you. Yet heaven saw every single moment when you chose love instead of bitterness, when you chose patience instead of anger, and when you chose faith instead of despair. Those decisions were never small in the eyes of God, because they revealed a heart that trusted Him even when the outcome remained hidden behind the horizon. Jesus has always been close to hearts like yours, because His love gently surrounds people who continue believing in goodness even when life becomes heavy and confusing. His presence often arrives softly, guiding thoughts toward peace, guiding decisions toward kindness, and protecting your path from dangers that would have shaken your spirit if they had been allowed to reach you. The truth is that heaven has been carefully watching your journey, not with judgment or distance, but with deep affection and quiet pride. There were moments when you felt unseen by the world, yet heaven was quietly celebrating your perseverance during every silent victory that passed unnoticed by human eyes. The compassion you showed others during your own difficult seasons became a beautiful offering that rose gently toward God, and that offering was never ignored or forgotten. Every tear that fell during moments of exhaustion was gathered with tenderness, because God never overlooks the pain of a heart that continues loving even while carrying its own burdens. The reason you are hearing these words today is not random or coincidental, because divine timing often arrives quietly when a heart becomes ready to understand the deeper story behind its journey. God's chosen ones often walk through long periods where answers remain hidden, yet those seasons slowly prepare the spirit to receive truth without fear or confusion. The waiting shaped your heart, strengthened your faith, and gently prepared you for the moment when clarity would finally arrive like sunrise after a long and restless night. You were never walking through those experiences alone, even during the moments when silence surrounded your prayers and uncertainty filled your thoughts. Jesus remained close during every step, guiding your path through wisdom that quietly moved within your spirit, even when you did not yet recognize the guidance as his loving hand. What once looked like delays were often quiet protection, and what once felt like closed doors were sometimes divine redirections, leading you towards something far greater than your expectations. Now the season is changing slowly and gently, because heaven never rushes the unfolding of something sacred and meaningful. The truth that will soon become clear was always meant for hearts that remained faithful, even when the road felt long and uncertain. Your endurance, your kindness, and your quiet trust in God have brought you to the edge of a new understanding that will begin revealing why your life followed this unique path. The reason remained hidden for a long time, yet heaven always knew that your spirit was being shaped for something meaningful that required patience, compassion, and deep faith. While others rushed forward chasing temporary victories, your heart was quietly learning lessons that build a soul strong enough to carry real blessings without losing humility or love. What if abundance had always been influenced by a hidden brain signal, buried in classified records and never fully disclosed to the public? This frequency is now creating new pathways, attracting opportunities, and reshaping lives faster than expected. Thousands are already using it to draw wealth like never before. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate the money-attracting brainwave today. There were seasons when you felt separated from the noise of the world, almost like a traveler walking along a quiet road while crowds hurried along different paths. That quiet space was never abandonment or delay, because it was the sacred ground where God gently formed the character that would sustain the future he prepared for you. During those quiet seasons, your spirit became more sensitive to kindness, more aware of the needs of others, and more open to the gentle guidance of Jesus. What seemed like isolation was actually protection, because heaven was allowing your heart to grow without being shaped by the distractions and bitterness that often surround a noisy world. The love of Jesus moves in ways that human understanding rarely recognizes at first, because his guidance often arrives through moments that appear ordinary yet carry deep purpose within them. A simple act of kindness you offered someone years ago still echoes through heaven like a beautiful song. A quiet prayer whispered during a difficult night became a seed that slowly grew into strength within your soul. Nothing you experienced was meaningless, and nothing you endured disappeared into emptiness. God watched every moment when your heart refused to become hardened by disappointment, even when circumstances might have justified bitterness or anger. That quiet choice, to remain gentle and faithful, became one of the greatest victories of your entire journey. Many people lose their compassion when life becomes heavy, yet your spirit continued reaching for goodness, even while carrying wounds that nobody else could see clearly. Heaven noticed those choices with deep love and quiet admiration. The reason this story continues unfolding today is because the season of understanding has slowly begun, arriving like sunlight entering a peaceful room after a long night of waiting. Your past was never meant to trap you inside old pain or unanswered questions. Instead, every experience quietly prepared your heart to recognize the deeper meaning behind your path. The lessons you learned were not simply personal struggles, because they shaped a spirit capable of bringing comfort, wisdom, and encouragement to others who walk through similar valleys. Type 1111 in the comments if your heart trusts that God has been guiding your life, even during moments when the direction seemed unclear and the road felt uncertain. When heaven chooses someone for a special purpose, the preparation often begins long before the person realizes that something sacred is taking place. The shaping of your spirit started through small experiences that seemed ordinary at the time, yet each moment added a quiet layer of strength and compassion to your character. You learned how to listen deeply, how to care sincerely, and how to keep believing in goodness when the world around you sometimes felt confusing or unkind. These qualities were never accidents of personality, because they were carefully nurtured by the gentle influence of God working quietly within your life. Jesus often teaches through experience rather than loud instruction, guiding hearts through real moments that gradually reveal deeper wisdom. The empathy you carry today grew from seasons when you personally understood pain, and the patience you show others grew from the waiting that once tested your own faith. Even the moments when you felt misunderstood served a hidden purpose that will soon become clearer. Being misunderstood often creates a deeper connection between your heart and God, because it leads you towards seeking comfort and clarity through prayer and reflection rather than through the changing opinions of people. That connection quietly strengthened your spirit and made your relationship with heaven more genuine and personal. You were never meant to follow the same pattern as everyone else, because the story of God's chosen ones often moves according to a different rhythm. Your life carries a deeper sense of meaning that cannot be measured by ordinary success or temporary recognition. Instead, it is measured by the love you bring into the lives of others, the peace you carry during difficult moments, and the faith that continues shining quietly within your heart. Jesus understands the journey of hearts like yours with profound tenderness, because his own path was also filled with misunderstanding, patience, and quiet compassion toward others. He knows the weight of caring deeply for people who sometimes fail to recognize the love offered to them. He knows the quiet strength required to continue walking in goodness when the world around you moves in different directions. Because of that understanding, his presence has always remained close to you, guiding your spirit toward healing and wisdom that will continue growing as your story unfolds. The strength you developed during past seasons will soon become a source of encouragement and light for people who feel lost or discouraged in their own journeys. Your experiences will allow you to speak words that carry genuine compassion rather than empty advice. The beauty of God's plan often becomes visible slowly, because hearts must be ready to receive its meaning without confusion or fear. Now your spirit has reached a place where understanding can begin arriving with gentle clarity. The struggles of the past were not punishments or random hardships, because they quietly built a foundation strong enough to support the blessings and responsibilities that lie ahead. What is coming into your life will not erase the past, yet it will transform your understanding of it. Moments that once seemed painful will reveal hidden wisdom, and experiences that once felt lonely will show how God was always present, guiding your steps, even when you could not see the direction clearly. This realization will bring a peace deeper than anything you have known before. The love of Jesus continues working softly within your life, preparing your heart to recognize the purpose that has been unfolding quietly for many years. Nothing about your story has been wasted, and nothing about your journey was meaningless. Every step, every lesson, and every quiet victory became part of a larger design that heaven carefully prepared for you. A concealed brainwave once stored in classified files is said to ignite strong prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch in your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. What looked like loss often saved you from paths that would have wounded your spirit or distracted your heart from the purpose that was slowly forming inside you. God's wisdom often works through timing that feels mysterious at first, yet later reveals itself as the most loving guidance a soul could receive. Your life never moved randomly through those seasons, because every step followed a path shaped by divine care and quiet intention. The compassion you carry today was not born in comfort, but through moments when your heart learned to understand the struggles of others. Each time you chose kindness while carrying your own burdens, your spirit grew stronger and more aligned with the gentle heart of Jesus. Heaven saw that love inside you, and that love became the reason your journey continued unfolding toward something meaningful and lasting. There were days when the silence felt long and the waiting seemed endless, yet those were the moments when God was teaching your heart to trust beyond what your eyes could see. Faith grows strongest when it continues breathing, even in quiet seasons where answers remain hidden behind the horizon. During those times, Jesus stayed close, guiding your thoughts toward hope and protecting your spirit from losing its tenderness. The strength you built in those quiet seasons will soon become the foundation for the blessings now approaching your life. God's chosen ones often carry a deep sensitivity that allows them to feel the joys and struggles of others with unusual clarity. That sensitivity once felt like a weight, because caring deeply sometimes meant absorbing pain that did not belong to you alone. Yet that very quality became one of the most beautiful parts of your spirit, because it allows you to comfort people in ways that simple words could never accomplish. Compassion is a rare gift in a world that often moves quickly without noticing the hearts quietly breaking around it. Type 20 inches the comments if you believe that God has been preparing blessings and miracles for your life, even during seasons when everything seemed slow and uncertain. The truth that heaven now begins revealing is that your life carries a purpose far greater than the struggles that once surrounded it. Those experiences did not come to weaken your spirit, but to deepen it so that your heart could hold wisdom that others are still searching for. Every tear you shed watered the soil of a stronger character that would later bloom into patience, kindness, and quiet strength. The lessons you gathered along the way now form a light that will gently guide other hearts walking through similar valleys. Jesus often works through people whose hearts have learned empathy through real experiences, because those souls speak with authenticity that cannot be imitated. When you comfort someone, your words carry warmth, because they rise from genuine understanding rather than distant observation. That sincerity allows the love of God to flow through your actions naturally and powerfully. Even simple acts of kindness become meaningful when they are offered by a heart that truly understands what it means to struggle and continue believing. Your story also holds moments where you quietly resisted becoming bitter, even when life seemed unfair or deeply confusing. That quiet resistance was not weakness, but one of the strongest victories of your entire journey. Bitterness closes the door to future blessings, yet you chose again and again to keep your heart open to hope. Heaven saw those choices with great tenderness, because they showed a soul determined to remain faithful to goodness, regardless of the circumstances surrounding it. God's plan for you was always rooted in love, rather than pressure or expectation. Heaven never asked you to become someone else or to carry burdens that would crush your spirit. Instead, your journey gently shaped you into the person you were always meant to become, someone capable of bringing light into places where discouragement once lived. The purpose growing within your life is not loud or overwhelming, but deeply meaningful and quietly powerful. The coming season will not erase the lessons of the past, yet it will reveal why those lessons were necessary for the future unfolding before you. Understanding will replace confusion, and peace will settle where uncertainty once lived. When that clarity arrives, your heart will recognize that God was guiding every step with patience that never failed and love that never disappeared. The love of Jesus continues surrounding your path like a calm presence walking beside you through every chapter of your life. His compassion understands every struggle you faced and every victory you achieved, quietly without recognition. He never measured your worth through worldly success, but through the sincerity of your heart and the kindness you offered others, even when your own spirit needed comfort. You may begin noticing subtle changes inside your thoughts and emotions as this new understanding grows stronger. Hope will feel more natural than worry, and peace will begin replacing the restlessness that once followed unanswered questions. This shift is not coincidence, but the gentle movement of God, guiding your spirit into a season where faith feels lighter and clearer than before. Type 1212 in the comments if you walk forward with faith, trusting that God is guiding every step of your journey with wisdom and love. The unfolding story of your life is far from finished, because heaven always reveals its purpose slowly, so that each new understanding can settle deeply within the heart. What you experienced in the past now becomes the foundation for something brighter and more meaningful. The strength you carry today will open doors to moments where your presence alone brings encouragement to others who feel lost or uncertain. Your journey will continue, revealing how beautifully God can transform pain into wisdom and waiting into preparation. The quiet faith that guided you through difficult seasons will now begin guiding others who need the same hope that once carried you forward. Through that process, your story will continue shining with a gentle light that reflects the love of Jesus, working through an open and compassionate heart. God never allowed those moments to exist without purpose, because every hardship quietly shaped the strength and compassion that now lives within your spirit. What once appeared to be random struggles were actually sacred lessons, forming a heart capable of understanding love, patience, and faith in ways that cannot be learned through comfort alone. Deep within your brain is a small area tied to wealth and success, once hidden in restricted studies and classified documents. This newly uncovered frequency is helping people exchange financial stress for ease, and God has led you to see this message at this very moment. Click the link in the description and comments to activate this hidden brainwave now. Many people move through life without noticing the quiet ways God teaches the soul, yet your life followed a different rhythm that slowly opened your eyes to deeper truths. Each time you showed mercy when anger could have taken control, your spirit became closer to the gentle nature of Jesus. Each time you remained patient while others rushed toward temporary success, your heart quietly aligned with the peaceful wisdom that heaven values most. These moments may have seemed small in the eyes of the world, yet they carried deep meaning in the eyes of God. There were nights when your thoughts felt heavy and your heart searched for reassurance that your faith had not been misplaced. During those silent moments, Jesus remained closer than you realized, surrounding your spirit with quiet comfort that helped you continue moving forward. His love often works gently, guiding hearts through calm encouragement rather than loud signs or sudden miracles. That quiet presence protected your spirit and kept your faith alive, even when the road felt long and uncertain. Type 19 inches. The comments if you believe that God has been guiding your life through every challenge and quietly preparing blessings you could not yet see. Your path carried a depth that many people never experience, because God often chooses hearts that are willing to grow through patience rather than rushing toward recognition. That depth became the reason you understand people so clearly today, because your experiences opened your heart to the emotions others try to hide behind silent smiles. When someone speaks to you about their struggles, your compassion naturally reaches them because you recognize the feelings behind their words. This ability is not accidental, because heaven prepared you to bring comfort to people who need genuine understanding. The love of Jesus flows most beautifully through hearts that have learned to remain gentle even after facing disappointment. Your kindness did not disappear when life became difficult, and your spirit refused to close itself behind walls of bitterness. Instead, you allowed your faith to guide your reactions and keep your heart open to goodness. That choice created a beautiful strength within you, because it proved that love remained stronger than the pain that once surrounded you. God's chosen ones often carry stories filled with quiet perseverance rather than loud victories, because their lives are meant to reflect the deeper values of heaven. While the world celebrates temporary success, heaven celebrates the hearts that continue believing in goodness during the most challenging seasons. Your patience, humility, and compassion became treasures that cannot be taken away by circumstances or time. Those qualities now form the foundation of the purpose slowly appearing before you. The reason your story matters so deeply is because it demonstrates how God can shape a soul through ordinary experiences that later reveal extraordinary meaning. Every act of kindness you offered, every prayer you whispered, and every moment of faith you held on to became part of a greater design unfolding across your life. Nothing you experienced was wasted, because each moment helped create the person you have become today. You may now begin noticing that peace enters your heart more easily than it once did. The worries that once filled your thoughts begin losing their weight, because your spirit is gradually recognizing that God has always been guiding your path with careful love. This understanding does not erase the past, yet it transforms the way you see those experiences. Instead of pain alone, you now see wisdom and preparation hidden inside those memories. Type 6 inches. The comments if you trust Jesus and believe that His love has been quietly protecting your life even during the most uncertain seasons. The unfolding future will reveal that your life was always meant to bring encouragement to people who feel lost within their own struggles. Your presence carries a calming warmth that reminds others that hope still exists even when circumstances feel overwhelming. When you speak words of comfort, they carry genuine sincerity because they come from a heart that understands both sorrow and healing. This quiet influence is one of the ways God uses your story to bring light into the lives of others. Jesus continues guiding your path gently, never forcing your steps but always offering wisdom through peace and compassion. His love surrounds you in ways that often feel simple yet deeply meaningful, like a quiet assurance that you are never walking alone. As you continue moving forward, that presence will become clearer and more comforting with each passing season. Your journey now enters a chapter where understanding begins replacing the confusion that once surrounded your past experiences. The patience you learned will help you recognize opportunities for growth and kindness that others might overlook. The empathy you developed will allow you to connect with people who need encouragement more than they realize. Everything that once felt like a burden will slowly reveal itself as preparation for the purpose unfolding ahead. God never chose you because of perfection or extraordinary talent, but because your heart remained open to love and faith even when life became difficult. That openness allowed heaven to shape your spirit gently and guide your path towards something meaningful. The beauty of your story lies not in dramatic events, but in the quiet strength you carried through every chapter. As this understanding continues growing within your heart, you will begin seeing how the past, present, and future connect in ways that reveal God's loving guidance. Every step forward will bring a deeper sense of peace and clarity, because your spirit now recognizes that nothing about your journey happened without purpose. Heaven has been patiently preparing the next season of your life with wisdom, compassion, and love that never fades. The path ahead will continue, revealing the quiet miracles that come when faith remains steady and the heart remains open to the goodness of God. Each day will offer new moments where your presence brings hope, your words bring comfort, and your spirit reflects the gentle love of Jesus to the world around you. A 7-second brainwave approach, previously limited to elite groups and stored in classified files, is now available to everyone, and many call it the 30-second miracle. Researchers claim it stimulates a dormant brain center associated with prosperity and blessings. Click the link in the comments below before it is removed from the internet again. God watched every step you took through confusion and silent struggle, not with disappointment or distance, but with deep compassion and patient love. What once felt like wandering through unknown paths was actually the careful shaping of a heart that would one day understand its true calling. There were times when you wondered why your life seemed different from the lives of those around you. Others appeared to move quickly from celebration to success, while your path often led through quiet seasons of reflection and waiting. Yet heaven knew something beautiful was growing inside those slower seasons. Your spirit was learning lessons of patience, empathy, and humility that cannot grow inside lives filled only with comfort and ease. The love of Jesus was always near you during those seasons, gently guiding your thoughts toward kindness, even when your own heart needed healing. His presence moved quietly through moments when you chose compassion instead of resentment, and when you chose faith instead of despair. Those decisions created a light within your soul that heaven recognized as something rare and precious. That light now begins shining more clearly as your story continues moving forward. Type yes in the comments if you believe that God has been guiding your life step by step, even during moments when you could not understand the direction. Every experience you carried, whether joyful or painful, slowly built the character that now defines your spirit. Your heart became strong not because life was always easy, but because you continued believing in goodness when circumstances made that belief difficult. The quiet courage inside you grew stronger each time you refused to let disappointment turn into bitterness. Heaven saw that courage and protected it carefully, because it would one day become a source of encouragement for many others. The chosen ones of God rarely recognize their calling during the early chapters of their lives. Their journeys often begin with lessons that shape their understanding of compassion and faith. You walked through those lessons patiently, even when you could not yet see where the road would eventually lead. What once looked like delays or detours were actually moments when heaven was protecting your future from paths that would have led away from your true purpose. Jesus understands the heart that continues loving despite hardship, because his own path was filled with sacrifice and compassion for others. His presence has always remained close to people who choose gentleness instead of anger and forgiveness instead of resentment.